What is up, YouTube? I'm out here by the lake to do some fishing. I've got my pan fishing gear with me, and so I think I'm gonna start out throwing some jigs with some minnows. I've got the 1-inch and 3-inch, and I've got my bass tackle as well. So we may throw a worm, we may throw some weedless. Who knows? There should be a good number of bass, crappie, some bluegill, and I've heard there's even some snakehead. So let's see what's cooking. We're gonna start off with the black shad minnows in the 2.5-inch. I'll start off putting on this minnow. I got a 1/32 ounce jig head here. I do sometimes put these minnows on the smaller jig head too, the 1/64th, but I feel like the plastic swim body is too big, and it kind of smothers most of the hook point. So this one just kind of gives me some more exposed hook point, and I think it goes on pretty good. And I like to always keep that that bait on there straight. It just lets it fall more naturally down the water column. All right, this looks like a good spot to start with. Hopefully we'll have some takers. Looks like we got a little groundhog home there. It is the strangest things that you see at the park. I do not even want to know what that was used for. Lord have mercy. And it's just a tiny little thing, and I hope that the smaller hook is better for some of these hook shy fish, because a lot of them were just playing with it and they wouldn't commit, and that is a sign that they've probably been caught before, and they are wary of sharp pointy objects attached to things that look like fish. So I'm just going to tie it with a improved clinch knot, my favorite knot to use for tying jig heads with monofilament. It's pretty simple. Go ahead and put the swim bait on. These 1-inch minnows are my favorite. Soft plastic, actually. Favorite soft plastic. I really got sold on these about 4 or 5 years ago when I was looking for a way to catch bluegill for catfish bait, and I was having to buy worms and relying on stores to be open. Just they would make a mess. They would often spill and make a mess in my car, and I just realized these are much easier to just keep in my car. They're always in stock. They never go bad, and I love them. They consistently perform. There we go. Got a small panfish, small bluegill. Got a small bluegill. There we go. I'm hoping some of these bass will take interest in the 1-inch minnow. I have caught conventionally much more bass on the 1-inch minnow than the 2.5-inch, or the 3-inch for that matter. It just consistently performs better, and theoretically I would think that the smaller minnow is going to deter the bluegill and I would have more bass hookups, but that doesn't prove to be the case. And what often seems to happen is I end up getting bass and bluegill on that 1-inch setup, so I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to stick with it. I don't think I'm going to be committing to these 3-inch minnows. They just have not been performing the way that I thought they would. Go ahead and fix this one. And then bluegills were swiping at it, and there we go, finally got a bluegill on. Nice, there's bluegill on this one. Nice chunker. Nice chunky bait. Yeah, he swallowed that minnow pretty good. There we go, finally, palm-sized bluegill. There we go, got a fish. Right, there's a small bluegill. Kind of swiped it at the last minute. Nice bluegill, look at that thing, it's a palm size. Oh, it's the biggest one of the day. He just was swiping at it. I could, feel that, just feel the sensitivity. The rod is just really sensitive rod. I can feel that, those light bites, and then he was not really committing, and then I just set the hook, and bam, right in his mouth. Well, that's a nice gill. I thought I had a bite. Yep, another gill. Just a small one. All right, action picking up. This is a green sunfish, actually. All right, just get a quick look for the camera and let him go. And take advantage of that bite, because they are starting to show some more interest in the minnow. Perhaps it's feeding time. Oh, there we go. Do I have a taker? Yes, we do. Another bluegill took the bait. Oh, that was just the most subtle of all bites. That bluegill lucky I'm not going catfishing today, otherwise he'd end up on a 10-aught circle hook. Oh, there we go. Another taker. I set out to catch bass and crappie with a 2.5-inch minnow, and so far it's turned into a 1-inch minnow bluegill marathon. There he is. Another gilly. There's another gill. There we go. Quick release. I don't want to look at that one anyways. Bait stealers. Got a fish on. That looks like another bluegill. That's a nice bluegill. I'll be happy to catch that one. I don't have my measuring board with me, but that's a decent palm-sized bluegill. All right. All right, guys, I'm gonna do this closing from the house. It started to pour, and I made a run for it when I heard the thunder from a distance, and saved myself from getting drenched. But overall, it just turned into a bluegill bonanza. I went out to try these 3-inch minnows because I was a little bit skeptical at first, and I'm thinking in my mind like, okay, 3-inch minnow, bluegill shouldn't be able to eat it. I'm gonna catch more bass and crappie, but it didn't turn out that way. I ended up not getting many bites. I ended up getting one crappie on the 3-inch minnow, but you're not gonna be able to see that in the video because the camera had a malfunction there. And then I switched over to that 1-inch, and that seemed to do the job catching bluegill. I did get a couple largemouth bass that bit the 1-inch minnow on the 1/64th, but I couldn't get a good hookup, and they came off as I was trying to retrieve them. I think it's that smaller number 8 hook that sometimes doesn't really connect. So will I try the the bigger minnows again? Yeah, I think I will. I'll give them another try, but probably from the kayak where I can cover more water, and probably hit the rocks in search of some smallmouth, maybe some largemouth by the lily pads. I just think I didn't have a good experience today, but I'm not going to give it up, and I'm going to try one more time. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys liked the video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and I'll see you in the next one.